What's going on, sir?
Take me here and we'll talk about it on the way.
Just tell me now.
I killed my girlfriend.
Where is she?
She's in the creek.
This is a student apartment building in West Michigan, an off-campus housing where all the residents are local college students. In the early hours of Thursday, June 28th, a friend of one of the residents called the Kalamazoo Police Department to report her missing. The missing person was 24-year-old psychology student Aniya Mack.
If anything is going on, I'm like pretty much the only person that she has here besides her family. We have been best friends for entire being, basically.
I got friends like that.
But what the police don't know yet is that they're dealing with a strange murder, a chain of twisted events, and the involvement of a possibly corrupt pastor. The person who called the police was one of her close friends named LaQuenda Watson. She told officers that she used to talk to Aniya almost every day. When she couldn't reach her for nearly a week, she became very suspicious. Since Aniya was a very active person with lots of friends, it was completely unusual for her to go several days or even hours without contacting anyone or being heard from. LaQuenda even went to Aniya's new workplace, the Great Lakes Alternative Research Center, where she worked with autistic children. There, she learned Aniya hadn't shown up for work 2 days in a row. This was a job she had landed just 3 months earlier after working hard to get it, and she absolutely loved it. There was no way she would skip work without telling anyone, unless something terrible had happened. But LaQuenda wasn't the only friend worried about her. After arriving at Aniya's apartment, police also met one of her longtime friends, Dominique Thomas. He too had gone several days without hearing from her. Concerned, he spoke with Aniya's mother, Loretta, who lived in Louisiana, as well as with LaQuenda. When none of them could find any trace of her, all three became deeply suspicious about her sudden disappearance.
It's unlikely.
It's unlikely to just not answer her phone, it sounds like.
If anything is going on, I'm like pretty much the only person that she has here besides her family. But like me and her, we have been best friends for 24. I'm only 24, but we have been best friends our entire being, basically.
I got friends like that.
And it's driving me real crazy that if anything was going on, she would call me. If nobody, she would call me. I know for a fact.
She has any medical issues?
No psychological orders.
Did she take any medication for anything?
As of right now, not to my knowledge. Other than inhaler when she needed.
Did she ever have any drug abuse issues?
No.
I mean, I'm not talking marijuana, that's almost legal, like harder stuff than that. Okay.
All of Aniya's friends knew her for her energy and vibrant personality. She was deeply involved in her community and had a wide range of interests. Aniya attended Muskegon Heights High School, where she was active in the National Honor Society, the cheerleading squad, and the marching band, even serving as captain of the Majorettes. After graduating in 2012, she went on to Western Michigan University and joined the J'adore dance team. She loved dancing, singing, and working on hair and makeup. Among family and friends, she was considered the diva, a beautiful, sweet, and loving young woman who lit up every room she walked into.
Did you hear what I found out about the plates? Her car, her Malibu over there in the corner, the plates missing off of it.
Police officers learned that Aniya owned a white 2008 Malibu. They found it in the apartment parking lot, but it had no license plate. After looking around a bit more, they spotted another Malibu, exactly the same model, parked nearby. This one had Aniya's license plate on it, but it was registered to someone named Gustavo. Both cars had 2 flat tires and didn't seem drivable.
So they swapped the plates on the cars?
Yeah. There's a white Malibu that comes back to her by the VIN. No plate. The plate that belongs on it is on another Malibu. A few spots down, another white Malibu. Somebody else's name.
Gustavo fellow?
Yeah.
Inside her apartment, the lights were on and it looked like the TV was playing. But still, no one came to the door.
I guess we'll wait outside for a little bit, see if he shows up.
Dominique called Aniya's roommate, asking her to come over and unlock the door so police could search the apartment. The two had only been living together for less than a year, and according to the roommate, it wasn't unusual for them to go several days without running into each other.
When was the last time you were here before?
This morning, I came back from work around like 6 and I went to the movies and I came back here.
When's the last time you saw her?
Not before Saturday. I left home for graduation. I graduated Saturday.
Okay.
And then this is her room right here. But someone was here today because they turned on the air and they put some clothes in the washer. When I was going home, like I thought maybe she came. But
Have you seen her boyfriend around here?
I haven't seen anybody, honestly. But I left for the weekend, so I thought maybe she just went home. But I really haven't seen her.
While talking to the officers, Dominique also told them about Aniya's boyfriend, 25-year-old Donovan Lewis. Apparently, the two had some problems in the past. Donovan was a former community college basketball player and also worked as a YMCA lifeguard. He had recently returned to Kalamazoo after living for a while with his brother in Indianapolis. While in Indianapolis, he had joined a multimedia company. But after moving back to Michigan, he was taking whatever work he could find. For the past week and a half, he had been working the night shift as a janitor at a local manufacturing company.
Like, if she was going somewhere, she would definitely pack her makeup. That's here. This looks like what would be her purse. A bag that she do her hair stuff with. That's here. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck?
After a thorough search of the apartment, there were no clear signs that Aniya was in immediate danger. The evidence wasn't enough to prove anything, but there were some strange details. For example, the bathtub in the bathroom Aniya used was filled with water as if she had prepared it, but never actually used it.
So, can you ask if she uses the bathtub? It's like full of water.
It was clear that someone besides Cora had been inside the apartment. The air conditioning unit had been turned on and the washer had been used to clean clothes. Inside, police found it full of men's clothing, along with 2 teal bathroom rugs. Strangely, in the bathroom Aniya used, there was no bath mat at all.
Yeah, somebody definitely came in today, for sure. Because when I left there, it wasn't on.
Does her boyfriend ever come over here and do any laundry or anything?
Yeah, they always do laundry together.
Okay.
So it's not like out of the ordinary.
Does he have a key?
I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. Like somebody was here because I don't think he has a key. Usually, if he's coming, like I'll leave the door unlocked. Like if I know he's here, or like she'll leave the door unlocked. So.
If we consider the possibility that Aniya left home willingly, 2 major questions arise. First, her personal belongings, the kind she would need for an extended trip, were still in her room. Second, police had located 2 similar Malibus, but both were inoperable and couldn't be driven. So, if Aniya truly left on her own, how could she have done it without any of those things?
Where the hell's she been at, though? Both of her cars are here. Boyfriend has no car. Her best friend, her parents, her godsister, her pastor, she's been at work.
And from what other people have said, has the boyfriend been around here for the last couple of days?
Well, he claims he hasn't seen her since Sunday either.
Do you think this is an actual? Like an actual missing person?
Well, nobody knows where she's at right now, so she's missing.
Like, okay, well, I
Do
mean, like...
I think that she's endangered? No. Absolutely not.
Okay.
We've got nothing to lead us to believe that she's endangered other than the fact that boyfriend was an asshole at one point.
Donovan was completely out of reach. Everything the police knew about him came from Aniya's friends. Both Dominique and LaQuenda said Donovan told them he hadn't been able to reach her since Sunday and had no idea where she was. As a first step, the officers went to his mother's house, where he sometimes stayed, but no one answered the door. But luckily, LaQuenda called the police again to let them know that Donovan's janitor shift at the medical equipment company ended at 3:30 a.m., and after that, he would return to Aniya's apartment. So, the police went back to the apartment once more. While the officers were standing in front of their cruiser talking things over to figure out what to do next, something unexpected happened. A young man in a black t-shirt walked up from the left side of the cruiser and started talking to them.
What's going on, sir?
Take me here and we'll talk about it on the way.
Just tell me now.
I killed my girlfriend.
6160. Will you come to the apartment, please? Where is she? We're out with boyfriend. He's reporting at 10:35. Where is she?
Creek.
Where at?
Spain. Dispatch. Here to Indianapolis. I left her alone. She couldn't pay rent. She texted the hair car note. So, my understanding.
That's your record my last traffic. We got one in custody.
Fantastic. When I got back in town about a week ago, or 3 weeks ago, on the 16th, found out, I went to her home and I found out they were messing around.
Donovan, without any pressure and completely on his own, confessed to the murder and shared a lot of details with the police. Even after being arrested and placed in the back of the cruiser, he kept talking. What had seemed like a simple missing person case just minutes earlier had now turned into a murder. But we're still left with the biggest question in the case. Why?
Just had a rough week last week. The car had the pastor bound her. Back tire went flat.
Oh, is that what happened?
It was a slow week, so you had to keep refilling it. On Sunday, on my family lighthouse, she wanted to go to church. She went outside. The front tire was flat.
While speaking with the detective, Donovan explained the main reason he was angry with his girlfriend. He said that while going through her phone, he found inappropriate text messages from a pastor. He believed the two were also physically involved and that while he was out of state, Aniya, facing financial problems, had tried to blackmail the pastor. According to Donovan, the pastor ended up paying her rent, covering her phone bill, and even giving her the white Malibu.
Apparently, threatened her.
The pastor threatened her? Over the car, why?
Because she was using them. She told him she would tell. He said, "You can't do this to me."
How was he using her? Like they had a relationship or something going on, you mean?
I went through her phone.
Who's her pastor? Which church she goes to?
Second Baptist, right there by the bus station.
Okay.
Across the street.
That Sunday, an argument broke out between the two at Aniya's apartment. It was sparked by her secret relationship with her pastor, Strickland. This pastor was also the local NAACP president. Aniya had been involved in his church since the beginning of that year.
She died on her phone. Kind of got in like a fetal position with all her knees in her hands and saw that it was a pastor and saw what he said. And she kind of just gave up, gave the phone. And all the time she laughed because she know, okay, if I do make that accusation, she could have that reaction that she had. Just to think about that after we find out it's fucked up.
In the end, Donovan agreed to give police a full written confession, every detail from start to finish. And to truly understand the case and the role Pastor Strickland played, we need to walk through his statement. Donovan wrote that Aniya's Malibu had been getting flat tires again and again. The pastor had paid to fix them at least once. Later, Strickland offered her another Malibu, one he claimed to own, for her to use. But that car also started getting flats and eventually stopped working. Over time, the pastor began visiting the apartment more often to pick Aniya up. Earlier that year, she'd even gone on an all-expenses-paid trip with him and other choir members to his hometown in Mississippi. According to Donovan, Aniya admitted she was using the relationship as leverage, even threatening to expose it to Strickland's wife and others. He claimed that in response, the pastor threatened her. Around that same time, Strickland dropped off the second Malibu for her to drive and allegedly made it clear he was willing to hurt her. That Sunday, Donovan had been drinking. Aniya was running a bath. He said he was drunk, exhausted, and had stayed up all night going through her phone. One text from Pastor Strickland set him off. The two began arguing. Aniya told him she wanted him gone for good. She even pulled out one of his suitcases and started packing his things. That's when, according to Donovan, he struck her, knocking her unconscious. He then went to the kitchen, grabbed a large knife, and returned to slit her throat and stab her. He admitted that he put a garbage bag over her head, placed her body into the suitcase, and dumped it in a bin outside the visitor parking area. The next night, in the dark, he came back for it. Driving his mother's van, he took the suitcase out to Comstock Creek, east of Sprinkle Road. There, he left Aniya in a deep stream, weighing the suitcase down with mud so it would sink to the bottom. Investigators began noticing cracks in Donovan's story, especially when it came to how the murder supposedly happened. For starters, there was hardly any blood in Aniya's apartment. The first officers on the scene didn't even notice signs of a stabbing. But when detectives looked closer, they spotted small but clear stains. In the hallway, on the edge of Aniya's bed, and on the bedroom carpet, it was obvious that someone had tried to clean up. Cleaning supplies from inside the apartment had been used to wipe down certain areas. Donovan had thrown away a mattress cover in the apartment dumpster, but by the time police checked, the trash had already been collected. He'd put the bathroom mats in the washing machine and gotten rid of his own clothes at his mother's house. Detectives also wanted to check another part of his story, the supposed affair between Aniya and Pastor Strickland. When police spoke to the pastor, he flat out denied having any kind of relationship with her. He said she was just a member of his congregation and sang in the church choir. Eventually, Donovan even admitted that Aniya never told him she was sleeping with the pastor, only that she was allegedly manipulating him for money. The pastor told a different story. He said that earlier that year, Aniya had traveled with him to Mississippi for a choir trip. While there, she met a young man and started seeing him. Since she already had a boyfriend back in Kalamazoo, she didn't want Donovan to find out, so she saved the young man's number in her phone under the pastor's name. That way, if Donovan saw her messages, he wouldn't think twice. About a month after giving his statement, Pastor Strickland called police again, this time to ask for the white 2008 Malibu back. The problem was he couldn't prove it was his. He claimed the car actually belonged to his wife and that he had bought it from a man named Gustavo, but he didn't have the title or any bill of sale to show for it.
Yes, sir. One of the automobiles that was taken related to the Aniya Mack murder.
Yes, sir.
One of those vehicles belonged to my wife.
Okay.
And we are trying to recover it. We had actually misplaced the title prior to going out of town.
Okay.
And Aniya had reached out to us while we were out of town and told us that she had found the title.
Okay.
And that the title was supposed to be in the console, which I had looked in the console, I know, 20 times. But anyway, she said that the title was folded up really small. So I'm thinking that this is going to be the car that you all find. It's the one that doesn't have any tinted windows or any rims on it. It's just factory.
Okay.
And it's in the console you should find. I'm hoping that she didn't take it out or put it anywhere. You should find the title in the console. Like I said, I don't know how much information that the guy had filled out on the title because he gave me like a bill of sale, which had all the information on it.
Yes.
But I misplaced that and the title.
The pastor never got the car back. The ownership could never be proven. But that turned out to be the least of his problems. Later that year, 3 teenagers from his church accused him of sexual assault. Prosecutors claimed that he and his wife used their positions in the church and at a local school to pressure teens into sleeping with them. One victim said he didn't feel like he could refuse the pastor's advances because he desperately needed to keep using the car the pastor had been letting him borrow.
Things, 19th precise, yes, and Henry. Can Mr. Strickland or did someone respond?
No, and no. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Didn't do it.
Michigan State Police discovered that the assaults happened between January and May of 2018. They found text messages and photos from the victims' phones that backed up the accusations. By February 2023, Strickland took a plea deal, admitting he used a vehicle to solicit prostitution. The judge sentenced him to a year in prison. After serving his time, he rebranded himself as Dr. Floyd Strickland and kept working in ministry. Donovan Lewis agreed to lead police to the spot where Aniya's body was left in Comstock Creek. Donovan, who was a skilled swimmer, carried Aniya in a suitcase farther down the creek into deeper, muddy water. Searchers couldn't walk through the stream, so they had to use a rescue boat instead. Fortunately, they were able to recover the suitcase. Although the weapon, the butcher knife Donovan had used, was never found, Aniya's family was finally able to lay her to rest in peace.
We got a lot of love for everybody. Yeah. Oh, God.
She wants us to be as happy as possible and give her the best homegoing we can.
I will keep your secrets. Just think of me of the pages in your diary.
But the story didn't end there. 3 days before Donovan Lewis was scheduled to stand trial for first-degree murder, he was in the recreation yard at Kalamazoo County Jail, playing soccer with a few other inmates. After about 30 minutes, he suddenly stopped, sprinted toward the fence, and made a daring escape. Donovan scaled 2 15-foot walls, climbed over security fences, one topped with barbed wire, the other with razor wire, and then got over a third fence separating the jail from the business loop. He was caught just over half an hour later. Donovan later claimed he wasn't trying to avoid punishment for the murder. Instead, he said he feared for his family, who he claimed had received death threats, though no evidence supported this. He eventually pleaded guilty to the escape. Aniya's family didn't want to go through the pain and stress of a long trial. So, on September 27, 2018, the state offered Donovan a plea deal for second-degree murder. Donovan was ultimately sentenced to 25 to 40 years in prison. He also got an extra 17 months to 4 years for escaping from the county jail.